JimmyDoreComedy.com for tickets. Ron will be in Florida in January. Go to ronplacone.com. So this is a great cartoon. It's the worst income inequality in 100 years. Hey, look, Russians. So that's what's been going on, in case you don't know it. And I know if you're a new listener to or new viewer to this show, you don't know that this is what's actually been going on. So you can put in there, hey, it's the worst income inequality in 100 years. Hey, look, hey, it's the biggest election fraud in the history of our country happened in the 2016 Democratic primary. Hey, look, Russians. Because that was the Democratic Party that committed the biggest electoral fraud in our history. It wasn't the Russians.
You could put a lot of things in there.
You
like
could put
what else?
So
many things.
Let's do something.
Hey, we have a right to clean water. Hey, look, Russians.
Look at the Russians.
Hey, look, Black Lives Matter. Look over there,
look
Russians.
at the Russians.
I mean,
hey,
list goes on and on.
Hey,
we should have free college.
We're spending 1 million times more than anybody else on their military. Look at
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we should have a jobs program.
Hey, look at the Russians. So here it comes. So we've been telling you about these two new reports that have been written. Well, anyway, and it was in the New York Times, so we debunked that article a couple times. And so here is this is from Quartz. Russian operatives were promoting sex toys on Instagram to sow discord. Sex toys actually bring people together. They even have parties for it, for F's sake. Come on. It was to sow discord, right, because nobody ever tried to profit off sex online before.
Never been done.
Russia has hypnotized the United States into thinking they enjoy sex. That's Russia. You thought you liked sex. No, that's Russia fucking with your brain. They control you. Oh, man, she looks sexy. Putin puppet. But, by the way, here's one of them. That's not real. We made that up. That was Arno and Rod put that together. That's hilarious.
They had some time on their
But
hands.
actually, no more ridiculous than the actual memes. Here's Chris Hayes even made fun of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of them. If you can't see it, I'll tell you what it says. It says, struggling with the addiction to masturbation, reach out to me and we will beat it together. These are almost literal jokes. So this is the kind of stuff that they're talking about. Russian operatives and all this stuff. And so this is from this real article. This is really, I'm not making this. This is the part I'm not making up. This is from this article. Between early 2015 and late 2017, during which the U.S. elected Donald Trump as president, accounts associated with the Kremlin-sponsored Russian internet agency created more content on Instagram. Oh my God, they created content on Instagram. Isn't that illegal? Creating content on Instagram?
Was it $4,700 worth? Were they big spenders?
This is such a joke. They created content. Oh, wow, how nefarious of them to create content.
Discord sewing content.
Oh, sewing
the
Discord
worst kind.
with vibrators and dildos. I think the dildos are the people who write these articles. The posts also received more engagement on Instagram than on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Even though there are more ways to engage on Facebook, researchers from the cybersecurity company New Knowledge. Now, the first time we reported this about the New York Times doing a story based on this report from New Knowledge, I remember saying, who the F is New Knowledge? Who are those people? And why should I give a crap what they say? Because it's all ridiculous. They also did it in conjunction with Columbia University, a software research and development firm, Canfield Research, found in the 100-page report. So New Knowledge, who is that cybersecurity company? Well, Ben Norton figured it out. He said this breaking New York Times report, well, they're referring to this report, blaming Russia for working class people. So from the same report, the New York Times blamed Russia for Black Lives Matter, for African Americans not voting for Hillary, and they also blamed working class people for not voting for Hillary and progressives for not voting. So they everything, and now they're also saying that they use sex toys. So they're using this report to everything they want it to mean, they can say. So he says this breaking New York Times report blaming Russia for working class people not liking neoliberal capitalist Hillary Clinton is based on a report by bogus cybersecurity new knowledge. So that's the company, New Knowledge, which is run by who? Government flacks who spread conspiracy theories blaming Putin for protests. What do you mean, government flacks? Well, here's New Knowledge. Here's their CEO and founder. And what does it say under his name? I'll read it to you if you can't see it. He said he served as a special advisor to the State Department. He's the CEO and co-founder. And here's the other guy, Ryan. That's Jonathan Morgan. And his Jonathan at the end is with an O, not an A. See that? Jonathan with an O. That's like spelling Mike with a Y. Isn't it? It's a little too precious.
I've seen somebody spell Ron with an H.
Come
That
on.
was R-O-H.
Yeah, that's that's
ridiculous.
the mayor of Chicago.
I thought he was Rom.
Oh, Rom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. So here's this guy, Ryan Fox. He's the CEO. So I'll show you who he is. So here's Ryan Fox, the COO and co-founder. He spent 15 years at the NSA, and prior to his civilian roles as a counterterrorism fellow and NSA representative, European Signet Partners, he served under the U.S. Joint Special Operations Command as a CNO analyst for the U.S. Army. So these are government flacks. Again, running this neoliberal propaganda campaign that Russia is responsible for everything in the United States. Everything bad. They control our elections. They control the minds of black people, of progressives, of blue-collar people. Now they're getting gay people with the gay sex toys. And, here's one more, by the way. Renee DeResta. She's the director of research for this new knowledge, and she has served as an advisor to the State Department, Congress, and other state and federal government institutions. These are the flacks. So that's who these people are.
I think I know how they got their name, though. I think that they were all in a meeting room, and it's like, Putin is the reason for DAPL protests and Black Lives Matter. Does that make sense? No, not at all. That makes zero sense. That doesn't make sense to anyone with knowledge. Exactly.
Wait.
We're making
New knowledge. Well, not based on our knowledge. Well, no, this is new knowledge. So back to this ridiculous. This is so funny. Russian operatives were promoting sex toys to sow discord. Okay,
So was I most likely, if I got one of those sex toys or saw that sex toy, I was going to vote for Donald Trump? Was that what was happening?
You would probably be angry at someone else who is, I don't know. You would somehow, I don't know how. We're going to find out. It never really says in the article how they sowed discord with sex toys.
Maybe you sowed discord with sex toys because you never climax? What?
I don't know. Let's see. It says Instagram was perhaps the most effective platform for the Internet Research Agency. Internet Research Agency. The top accounts were identity-based, targeting people interested in the African-American, veteran, feminist, or LGBT issues. Internet Research Agency. I've heard that name before. I'm pretty sure it was debunked already by an article in BuzzFeed that Internet Research Agency is just a troll farm. In fact, these are some of the people that got indicted from Mueller were from the Internet Research Agency. And because of that indictment, we know that they were just a troll farm. Buried in the Mueller astroturfing indictment is something that we have long suspected, that the Internet Research Agency troll farm is geared to develop audience in socially active communities through aligned memes in order to spam them on behalf of anyone willing to play. So the Internet Research Agency were trying to get followers in the African-American community, the veterans community, feminists, LGBT community, and they were trying to get them to follow them in social media so they could then sell them and spam them to advertisers.
Let's take a look at the variables in this one real quick.
Okay.
So we have Chris Hayes, the tweet that he shared, which was a meme about masturbation and sex addiction.
Right.
Sex toys. If people clicked on that, wouldn't you want to spam them with ads for sex toys?
Of course you would.
Boom.
So this, and it says so in the indictment that's what they were there for. They would sell $50 per advertising campaign. So this is more. So that's Internet Research Agency totally debunks, and the new knowledge. Again, shady organization run by government flacks. The Internet Research Agency, just a troll farm. And in 2017, this is back to the article. In 2017, as media covered their Facebook and Twitter operations, the Internet Research Agency shifted much of its activity to Instagram. Bum, bum, bum. This reads comically. Instagram engagement outperformed Facebook, which may indicate its strength as a tool in image-centric mimetic meme warfare.
Meme?
Meme warfare. Give me your hand. Stop masturbating. We'll beat it together. Meme warfare. There's Bernie's arm wrestling Satan. Meme warfare.
Wow.
The researchers write in their report, which details the operatives' various tactics. They're going to do meme warfare.
We're going to get all the Americans to use butt plugs, then they will be angry at country.
In Russia, pussy grabs you. The new knowledge analysts and the new knowledge analysis and the other report from Oxford University and social network analysis firm Graphica. Who the hell are these people? Who the hell? It sounds like a bunch of guys doing bongs all day.
How did...
Graphica. Both say that the social media companies should cooperate more. Oh, this is my favorite part. Both say that the social media companies should cooperate more with the government to help censor you and get your dirty thoughts on the record. That's what this is. You're a bad thought person. Well, maybe they should tell the government on you.
What a great suggestion. You know, when big corporations get in bed with the government, there's actually a term for that.
What is it?
Can't remember what it is. I feel like it starts with an F, M's with an M, and isn't good.
Oh.
I don't know. If only I had a sex toy that could
had a sex toy
clarify my mind on that one.
It's my new dictionary sex toy, so you can look up fascism. Now watch this. Watch this unbelievable, irresponsible, gaslighting, chicanery with numbers. Watch this. So the actual reach of the Instagram post is not entirely clear. So let me reword that. We don't know. We don't know what the effect was of these posts. We don't know how many people it reached. We don't know the effect, but we're going to write a sensationalist article to make it seem like Russia is controlling the United States through meme warfare. So each report shows that over a 3-year period, that's 36 months, over a 3-year period, Instagram posts garnered more than 185 million interactions. That would be likes or comments. Over 36 months, they got 185 million interactions. So 36 into 185 million. How many is that per month? So that's roughly about 5 million interactions a month. You know, this show gets 8 million views a month, let alone interactions. So Russia, not as powerful as a comedian in his garage.
Or we could really start overthrowing elections if we start making sex toys.
Oh, that's it. So why couldn't we overthrow the election for Jill Stein?
No sex toys.
We have more views than they do, or whatever.
I can see this hashtag on a sex toy, fomenting discord.
Yes, fomenting.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So get there's one more statistic. It says Facebook initially said, ahead of congressional hearings in late 2017, that over a roughly 2-year period, 126 million people saw IRA, that's the Internet Research Agency, linked content on Facebook, and only 20 million saw it on Instagram. Now watch this. So that's the numbers they're throwing. They're throwing around 126 million. They're throwing around 185 million. It's possible that the Instagram engagement was inflated by click farms. So that number of 186 and 120, those could be totally inflated bullshit numbers. They're admitting it. That could be so this data they're giving you could possibly be completely meaningless. It already is. Even if it's true, it's meaningless. But the fact is it could be completely bogus because these numbers are completely inflated by what they call click farms. Those are companies that artificially inflate the number of interactions posts online receive. The new knowledge researcher said, which would make its actual reach smaller. So even this own goddamn BS report is saying these numbers are probably wrong and they're probably inflated and they probably came from click farms. So it probably does. And so again, not only do we not know the influence it had, we'll never know, probably because it was nothing, but we don't even know the number of people engaged with it. We really don't. And we'll never have any idea. So this is all nothing. This is less than speculation almost. Because what they're actually doing is they're coming at it with a bias and a point of view to sensationalize data that doesn't really even exist. This isn't data. So you think, wow, well, you can't really trust it. So I guess they're debunking their own study. No. Even evidence. So there's no way to debunk this. Watch. But if Russian actors paid for clicks on Instagram, it would further emphasize how important the app was for the country's influence campaign and show how easy it is for bad actors to game the play. So no matter what, whether they got so if you got a lot of clicks, it shows you how important, and if you got no clicks, it shows you how important. So that you cannot debunk this theory that Russia has this influence, because if they had a lot of clicks, it backs it up. And if they didn't have a lot of clicks, it also backs it up. It's unfalsifiable. That's a frickin' one hell of a conspiracy theory. No matter what the evidence is, it backs up this theory. No matter if it's for it, it backs it up. If it's against it, it also backs it up. Because that shows you that those bad actors, it's like, do you see this? Mental gymnastics?
Well, there was enough mental gymnastics that there's a 100-page report.
A 100-page report about this
in academia.
In academia about. On the other hand, the number of posts seen could potentially be even greater. Even greater.
No.
I mean, at this point, I just picture a person with a tinfoil hat. It's the internet, man. You never know. Anyone could see it. It's out there.
So where's the part about sex toys, right?
Yeah, that's what I've
been
waiting for.
So here it says some of the merch overlapped. So they talked about how they tried to sell merch. And they go, some of the merch overlapped with Facebook, but the researchers found that products unique to Instagram, like LGBT positive sex toys and many variants of triptych and 5-panel artwork featuring traditionally conservative and patriotic themes. I don't even know what that paragraph means.
Do you want a double-headed dildo that loves America?
So what it says is that the products were unique to Instagram, like some were sex-positive toys, and some were artwork that were depicted traditionally conservative patriotic themes. So a double-headed dildo with the Constitution on it, or something like that.
It's a Second Amendment sex machine.
So that's it. So this does not back up their headline.
I don't know, but am I the only one interested in positive sex toys?
I am. The merchandise could have provided the IRA with some income, but more importantly, offered the operatives access to buyers' personal data, including payment information and help with ad targeting in the future. Keyword there, ad targeting. Because that's what this is. These are troll farms running spam to make money. And all it takes is some dickheads, flacks from the government, and some dickheads in the media, and there you go. You got a red scare. So this is like the third article we've debunked coming from this new knowledge report, and each one is more ridiculous than the last.
And funnier.
And
they keep
funnier.
getting funnier.
And let me just say, let's say everything these asswipes are saying is true. Let's just say that. Here's what Nate Silver has to say about it. What fraction of overall social media impressions on the 2016 election were generated by Russian troll farms? 0.1%? I'm not sure what the answer is, but I suspect it's low. And it says something that none of the reports that hype up the importance of the troll farm, none of them address that question. Like this article we just read. What is the actual percentage? What are the actual influence? What is the actual impact these are actually having? Do you have any actual data? This is what he's saying. He's saying, it's weird that these articles that hype up the importance of Russian troll farms never tell you the actual data. Like, for instance, even Chris Hayes makes fun of them. We showed you here's Chris Hayes making fun of them. But New York Times takes it seriously. CNN takes it seriously. Everybody else at MSNBC takes it seriously. Nate Silver says, what fraction? Oh, I'm sorry. We just read that. He says it's far more likely that the Russians were just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and seeing what stuck, and that basing it on Cambridge analytical data wouldn't have been meaningfully more effective than doing it at random. If you wrote out a list of the most important factors in the 2016 election, I'm not sure that Russian social media memes would be among the top 100. The scale was quite small, and there's not much evidence that they were effective. Tell that to the people over at New York Times and Quartz. They'll have you believing that Russia has a mind meld on the United States right now, and we can't get out of it. We need Spock to come save us. For instance, he says, this story, a big deal about a post-election Russia social media disinformation campaign on Robert Mueller based on what? He says, 5,000 tweets? That's nothing. A platform-wide, there's something like 500 million tweets posted each day. So, and then here's another guy trying to do that thing where no matter what the evidence is, he's going to twist it to support the Russian propaganda conspiracy theory. And here he says, a topic that just doesn't lend itself to such isolated statistical analysis. That's not how culture or politics operates. Take the 0.1% at face value, he says about Nate Silver. Example, what if that, the 0.1% of the posts, what if those posts, even though they're low in number, he says, what if those posts led reporters to amplify narratives which colored the whole election? I think that happened in parts. So he just makes something up. So he just completely makes something up. So Nate Silver's pointing out what little impact these things had and how that's never mentioned. And this guy says, you don't know if it had a bigger impact. I have a theory that it had a huge impact with zero data.
So that guy should go and apply for new knowledge, right? Because he sounds like a perfect fit for that group.
This guy's last name is Tufecki. It's not. It's Tufecki, but it should be Tufecki. Nate Silver comes back at that guy and says, this is getting dangerously close to an unfalsifiable hypothesis. Meaning the hypothesis of Russia had great influence on the American election through these social media outlets and memes. And so no matter what the evidence, you can't falsify it. They just take that evidence as proof. And so he says, if reporters hugely amplified narratives put forward by Russian trolls, let's see some actual evidence of that.
And then that guy responded and said, you're a bot. No,
Ha
I don't know if he did that.
He didn't say nothing. But Michael Tracy says this. He says, if, as Nate Silver argues, Russian social media activity wasn't even among the top 100 important factors in the 2016 election, what does it say that political media class emphasis on the issue has been so unwavering and relentless now more than 2 years later? What does it say? It says that they suck. It says that they deserve Trump. That's what it says. That's how corrupted they are, because this is one big propaganda to distract everybody from what's going on. Biggest income inequality in 100 years. Look, Russians. Hey, Hillary Clinton said she was raising all that money for down-ballot races, and then she actually funneled that money unethically up to her own campaign. Look, Russia. Hey, Bill Clinton did a speech for a Kremlin bank and got $500,000 cash put in his pocket from a Kremlin bank. Right, Russia, not Bill. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is February 1st in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydoorecomedy.com for a list of all our live shows, and please become a premium member if you can. Become a patron. It's the way we support this show because they're coming at us, and we give you bonus. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Check it out. Become a patron. And if you can, make sure you're still subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I know it sounds crazy. It only takes a second. Please make sure and click that bell when you subscribe so they'll send you a notice